the Barely Surviving 30 podcast. I'm Megan.
And I'm Miranda. Good job, Megan.
Thank you.
That was very hyper.
Yes. We just want to know how you've been liking the podcast. If you want to comment on it or send us a message, you can. And, follow us on our Instagram if you haven't. It's at Barely Surviving 30 podcast. And our TikTok, which is the same thing, I believe. And our YouTube. And anything else you want to follow. Just lots and lots of stuff that you can follow. And, if you want to be on the podcast, you can reach out if you have a story of your own that you want to tell. I'm throwing all the things out there. Here at the start, it's when we got to catch them and then yank them in. Yeah.
Also, we want to say thank you for making it this far and actually listening to all of our podcasts. We really enjoy doing these and making these stories and just reliving these memories. I know a few people have reached out to me and Megan and just, gave us how they're feeling about the podcast, and that really means a lot. So thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You're getting this sports persona going on tonight.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Barely Surviving 30 podcast.
Barely Surviving 30 podcast. That's cool. Megan, how you doing?
I'm okay. I'm stressed as always. We got some stuff due for some schooling that I gotta get done in a week, and it's 80 drawings. I'm not even exaggerating. That's a lot of drawings. It's 8 poses, 8 facial expressions. Not 8. Yeah, well, 8, and then turnarounds, but for 5 different characters. So 8 times, or probably 16. And then 7, 8, 9, 20, 21. 21 times 5. I'm not doing the math. I can't do math.
First off, this is a lot of numbers, and I already hate it.
Yeah. I could do math on my computer here really quickly. 5 times, what did I say? 5 times 20, 5 times 21. 105 drawings. That's very excessive. I don't think I've even got halfway through that, and it's due in a week. I'm stressing, but I'm doing it every day.
I don't think we've mentioned that you're in school. Do you want to explain that real quick?
No, I'm just kidding.
That was nice.
No.
That was good.
No, it's okay. Yeah, no, I think this is probably the first time I'm mentioning it, but I'm back in school for sequential art, basically just to get my foot in the door in art, so I can I think the goal is to work on concept art for be it Disney or Universal or a gaming company, things like that. And art school is no joke. There's a lot of work. And I decided to take 2 sequential art classes this semester, which in hindsight, don't do that because I'm just drawing all day, every day. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to take a break from history and these other classes like business, and then it'll be fine, it'll be great. And now I wish I would have taken another class that I needed, because I have 3 classes that are non-sequential art related. So I wish I would have but whatever. But it's already done. We're already 3 weeks in, I think, at this point. By the time you're listening to this, we're done with this semester. So future Megan listening to the podcast, hope everything turned out okay. But how are you?
Well, I am also stressed, but I'm doing all right. I am also in school, and I am taking a statistics class, which I hate with a burning passion, and we're only 3 weeks in. So also, future Miranda, congrats on hopefully passing the class. Right now I have 100% in it, so I'm hoping that we're still going.
You got this.
We also record these episodes on Sunday, and that is also when all of our stuff is due. So there's a lot going on right now.
Yeah, we haven't seen each other in a couple weeks because of school and other obligations, but
we've had to put things on hold for this podcast for a bit. But that is why we recorded so early. So I'm really glad that we did that. Pat on the back, Miranda and Megan. Um, but also, like, I'm pretty sure that, things in the divorcee world are coming to a close. Hopefully,
Yay!
also by the time that you all listen to this podcast, I will be officially Miranda Morgan again, and that is
Woo!
great. Woohoo!
You're the person
That
that
was it.
claps when the airplane lands. I told that.
No, I'm fucking not, but thank you.
I told that to my boyfriend too, and because he claps all the time like that, and he just when it for something random, and people tell that to him all the time. I'm glad we don't fly in airplanes too often. Not that he clapped when we did fly in one, but
I ever tell you about the times, like, riding with my sibling? Newsflash, my mom works for an airlines, and we get, like, discounted air traveling and shit like that. But, like, anytime you travel with my siblings, it is always great. I remember it was this one time that Anthony, we were, like, is it called the jetway? We're in the jetway, just, like, in a line, like, getting ready to go into the actual plane, right? And he's like, if I keep my phone on, will the plane crash? And, like, he just says it so casually like that with so many other people around us. And my mom is, like, freaking, she's so serious about her job. Like, you do not play around with her airlines. Like, she is top dog in that. And she's like, Anthony, you never say anything about an airplane blowing up. All right, it was a serious question, like, you could have just said, like, I understand that his, like, wow factor of will it blow up, but,
right.
like, no, it just messes with the navigation. So they say, allegedly. I don't really know with today's technology, because now we have Wi-Fi on planes. That doesn't really make sense to me either all of a sudden.
No.
But look, I don't fly planes. It's not my business to know all that shit. Anyway, this episode we are talking about not freshman year. Damn. I'm so sorry. We were talking about senior year. Damn. Okay. To be fair, the last episode that we, like, fully recorded where we were talking about the year was freshman year, because I feel like our
Mm,
sophomore year and our junior year,
we're merged into things.
where they were merged into things. You had the sophomore year where we just talked really about boys, because that's all sophomore year really was those
True.
lovely boys.
Lovely.
And then the junior episode, which we hope that you all liked. Please let us know. With our first guest, and hopefully she won't be our only guest, but we'd love to have her again because she was great. Fantastic. Always a fun time talking to lovely Vicky.
Miss V.
But yes, did you want to start us off with senior year?
Well,
Because,
can
like,
I
I got a
just.
lot to say about senior year. Keep going.
No, I was just gonna say, I just want to add in, I had the weirdest dream the other night where, and I feel like I've had this dream before, but it was basically where I was back in high school and I was finishing up senior year, but it was a different high school, totally different people, never met these people in my life. But I was like, isn't it weird that we're going through high school like again and we just like we did this already and I don't know. It was a very strange dream that I have of like knowing that I had already gone to high school, but then like going through this dream, it's like doing it again, and I don't know, it's just very strange to me. Just,
Honestly, weirdly, I'd probably want to go back through high school. I just feel like it's a lot simpler than being an adult and going through college. Like, I'm okay. I think it was fun not having to pay bills.
bring
And
back the drama. Not that there isn't
I
drama now,
also,
but
well, no, there is drama now. My entire life is drama. But, like, don't shake your head over there like it is.
it's
My
okay.
life's not that dramatic.
It's okay.
Um,
Dramatic.
anyway, Megan, start us off with your senior year.
Well, senior year started off like any other year. It was.
I don't like this.
No, just
I
kidding.
do not like this.
I'm trying to tell a story over here. To be fair, there's a lot of bits and pieces of senior year that I do and don't remember, and that's because I was absent for a lot of my senior year. Mostly and mainly, only, mostly towards the second half of the year. Not so much the first, but I think I just was over it and I didn't want to be there anymore and I just wanted to graduate kind of thing, which is weird because I would have never thought of myself as like one of those people. And I kind of wish like I wouldn't have been absent so much. Like looking back, I kind of wish I wasn't absent so much just because, it was the last time kind of with all of those friends and those groups and getting to do fun things and such, but my butt stayed in bed because I said, nah, I don't wanna. And I know my mom got like a ton of shit from her ex-husband at the time for me staying home a lot. She would always get the brunt of it, and I felt bad that she did because, I mean, I was old enough to be like, oh, hey, I don't want to be going to school or I'm sick or whatever. So, if you want to take it out on somebody, take it out on me. But obviously, my mom's not like that. She's going to be like, don't take it out on her. Like, I'm the one that let her stay home. But most of the time, we had to hide that I was home. Or, like, if, so called ex husband decided to be like, oh, what are you doing? I'd be like, I'm sick. But he was always pretty mean with it. Like, I feel like a lot of fights stemmed from me. Main character energy.
Question.
No, just kidding.
Definitely main character energy. Question. Were you really sick all those times?
No. I would say about half the time I was sick. The other half of the time I just didn't want to go. If you know me, you knew that I get like a lot of sinus infections. I've dealt with a lot of allergy like stuff my entire life, and that was mainly like I still get sinus infections. They're not as bad, but like that's what I was dealing with then.
All the time.
I can't help that my body hates me. I mean, I finally did something about it. What, 27 years later? How many years ago did I?
Yeah.
21, 22,
I'm gonna go
23,
back to
24,
that one podcast where we were talking about
25,
how
26.
she should have done it as a kid. Miss V, she should have done it as a kid. Vroom vroom.
Rum, rum.
There's somebody outside. They're vroom vrooming.
Well, welcome to the podcast. Sorry, go ahead.
Yep. Sorry, guys. I missed you a lot senior year. I mean, I had a lot of other entertainment, but I do feel like, I mean, I always believed you were sick. I didn't really question it. I feel like I was just always used to you being sick.
True.
I'm gonna go back and say, Miss V, you should have done it when she was younger. But also, I mean, that doesn't change anything because clearly she was letting you skip school just to skip school.
I mean, yeah.
Also, Miss V, let's talk about that. I know that
Okay.
you're going to listen to this podcast and you're going to text us about it. Like, let's talk about that, Miss V.
Listen,
All right.
I just want to say that technically when I was younger, and I don't know, it might be the same thing now, but technically when I was younger, they wanted to put tubes in my ears, which, again, me, sheltered, very much so, very terrified of everything. And that was kind of just something that I didn't want to go along with. And I'm very much for, like, yes, you need a parent, but at the same time, I just feel like, you got to listen to your kid. You can't force them to do something necessarily that they don't want to do. Like, yeah, it's going to help them probably, but, like, you have to help them, like, make their own choices and, help them along in life. But I'm kind of like grateful that she didn't at that time. Like I know I suffered, but who knows if it was. A lot of people know, but I had a. It was all on the inside. Basically, my septum got deviated, and I couldn't breathe out of my nose for like 4 or 5 months, and then finally they were like, "Yeah, we need to go in, and we won't touch the outside of your nose at all. It'll all be on the inside," and it was an outpatient thing, and they got it all fixed and whatnot, and yeah, for the most part, I mean, all I have to do was nose spray because and allergy shots. Otherwise, not good. I'm allergic to like all but 3 different kinds of molds. So, you know. But I don't know if the tubes necessarily were the issue when I was younger. I feel like it was something deeper and they were just kind of like I don't know. And sometimes you grow out of it. Like I've grown out of a couple different things, but I think eventually like this surgery or whatever, was something that was probably inevitable whether I got the tubes in my ears or not, because that has nothing to do with my nose. Like, yes, ear, nose, throat, but I don't feel like the blocking up of my ears. Again, I just feel like it was inevitable. Inevitable. Inevitable.
Did you have bad classes that you just didn't want to go to during senior year? Because, like, my senior year was fun. I had so many art classes.
I don't know. I mean, I know I had art classes. Like, I know I had photography. I know I had a cooking class, which I think is funny. They actually, that last year, I guess, was their last year letting seniors do it, which I think is stupid. Like, let them do whatever they want to. But I had that. I think we had creative writing. And I believe junior year was when I did yearbook. So I don't think that was senior year. I don't think so. I don't know what it was for me. I don't know if like, because I have anxiety and I probably have always had anxiety, so it might have been like an anxiety thing, and like I wasn't taking medication then, obviously, so it might have been just something with that, or just that I really just didn't want to go. If I could go back and ask myself things, I would.
12th grade Megan probably didn't know either.
Probably. Who knows?
You look like the one girl. What does she do? She's like a little dancer. She has like that friend. They've gone on like Ellen a couple times.
Oh,
She's like this.
Sophia, Grace, and Rosie?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
The senior dinner dance. Did girls really ask guys? I don't remember that.
I remember, I don't know if it was like a known thing or if people, I don't know, it was, what do they call them when girls ask guys? They're called something. It's like
I really wanted to call it a Cyndi Lauper, but that is not what it is.
that's not what it is. It's a Sadie Hawkins dance. You were close. Cyndi
I was
Lauper,
kind of close.
Sadie Hawkins. Yeah, I don't remember like the whole deal, but I feel like people were like, "Oh yeah, the girls are going to ask the guys to the senior dinner dance." And I was like, oh, "Okay." And so I mean, I went to pretty much all the dances. I even snuck in sophomore prom, which I'm just now remembering. We're not telling that story. I don't want to deal with that. But I went and I asked and of course this is going to be very blatantly obvious to anybody who knows me, but I went and asked my best friend at the time, my other best friend, not Miranda. Miranda, would you go to the senior dinner dance with me? No, but my other best friend at the
Sorry,
time.
I'm taken.
um, TL, and I don't even know if he listens to these, but he was like number one person that I had the biggest crush on forever and ever and ever, up through college as well. Would you stop it? She's over here partying, throwing hearts out. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, looking back at it now, I could never see it working. Like, just for the whole entire relationship, I feel like in general, just like everything that goes into a relationship, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like that would have been way too awkward to have engaged in with him because he'd been my best friend since third grade. Like, literally, since with you, we'd been best friends since third grade. And he was my best friend since third grade up until college. And then he just, whatever. But yeah, I asked
No hard
him,
feelings.
no hard feelings. You don't talk to me anymore. It's very rude. No, because I know he moved a couple different places. He came down to Florida at one point, and he travels. I mean, very jealous of all the traveling that he does because I know he's been to like Ireland and the UK and probably other places. But I think he's engaged now. So, very happy for him. Happy that he finally found somebody because I know he moved down here with a different lady, and I didn't see that ever working out, and it didn't work out. And then he found this other girl. Not that I have an opinion on anything, but like it was a very not great situation with her, and he even said it as well. But I'm glad that he's found somebody. Very happy for you. At the time, I was like, okay, I gotta, because there was other people there too that he actually ended up dating. Like, I believe he dated MM, not UMM, and okay. Which,
No, actually, I
no?
was thinking of another MM.
Who were you
Oh,
thinking?
that girl. I never got to tell my story involving that girl in the middle of middle school. I'll have to come back to that.
Senior episode
You know who
featuring
it
middle school.
involved? Do you know who it involved?
Probably.
You don't have to type it. You can just say it. It involved WH. There's a lot of MMs now that I think about it. Honestly, like, if I just referred to myself as MM, None of y'all would know. None of y'all would know.
Yeah, he dated her, and I feel like there was maybe I don't think I hung out. There was another girl that we hung out with. Ooh, it was on RJ's friendship side, and you probably wouldn't know her, but it was KM, and she was part of the RJ friend group, and he had either had a thing with her or dated her. I don't know, but basically for this dance where girls were asking, I was like, I'm gonna be the first to ask him because I know if I don't, somebody else is gonna go and get to him first. I'm gonna be pissed at myself. So I went on and I asked him, and yeah, I'm trying to remember. Oh no, that was a different boyfriend. Not that I dated TL, but there's a different boyfriend that I dated sophomore year that I took to prom, and he wore this blue tie. We're backtracking for a second, but he wore this blue tie to prom, and I had on this pink and green dress, and he didn't
Yes,
want to
BC.
match. Yes, and he didn't want to match me because at the time we weren't dating. We'd only dated for like, I don't know, a month, and he didn't want to match me, and he didn't because we weren't dating, so he didn't want to match. Anyway, so yeah, so senior dinner dance. I really don't remember much, but I remember hanging out with RJ and JR and KS and I think HS. I don't know if he was there or not. And then TL. I mean, I don't remember dancing because that's not my thing. And I remember having a fun time. I also, which is very awkward, I remember taking TL to my dad's side. Their like Halloween kind of get together where we would all go to my great aunt's house. Like she had a relatively decent sized house, and there would always be a Halloween party there. And anytime you bring over like somebody of the opposite sex, they're like, oh, who's this? And I was
Oh, is
kind
this
of
serious?
right, and I was kind of like, oh, hey, this is my friend, and they're like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. So he had come with me to the Halloween party or whatever, and that was the first time that I had brought a boy to a family get together, even though he was just my friend. And it was very awkward, I think, for all parties. We went to the amusement park together too a handful of times. And I don't know, there was moments, not that this is a boy subject, but there were moments that I thought that he liked me back as well. But overall, like, I don't know. Like I'd look at, there was a specific photo and I could show it with his face covered, but like you wouldn't know what his looks like, but there was this photo of us at senior dinner dance that we had taken beforehand where I'm like smiling at the camera and he's looking down smiling at me and I was like, this boy likes me. And that was my like shut up. I know that sounds stupid, but it was like in my mind, because this is like the Tumblr era. You shut up. This is like the Tumblr era, and it was where like Rapunzel and Eugene were like doing their thing, and Eugene looks at Rapunzel a certain way. I was like, he's giving me that look. He likes me. I know it, but again, there
I'm
no,
not
I know
gonna
how.
lie. As your best friend, I really think that he did.
I thought he
Like
did
I
too.
don't like it's just, you don't really
TL,
think about like,
if you're listening, you let me know. We both have significant others now. It's okay. You can let me know. And if you
yeah,
did,
you
I'm
could
gonna
just
just
admit.
sock you a new one. No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't matter now.
Why would you sock somebody after they admit something? You would not do that.
No, I don't know. Anyway, you can let me know. If you don't want to let me know, well,
We'll make an anonymous
we can make
thing.
an
We should
anoculous
do
Google
that.
Doc. Oh, we should. Yeah.
That would be pretty fun.
Yeah, that would
I
be.
have a couple ideas of a couple people that would write in there, and we can definitely ignore them, but the other people we can answer for real.
That's funny. We'll just again, this episode comes out I think probably in March. We'll put it up now. We'll explain it now, and then when this episode comes out, it'll all make sense. Well, we can explain it now too, but it's a good idea.
I'll make one later.
Okay.
Anyway, maybe we should take a break on that because you were talking about senior prom next, right?
Well, we can. Didn't you go to senior dinner dance?
I literally read this one part as senior laxatives.
Where are you getting the L from?
I'm dyslexic. I graduated from Kentucky Public School.
But yeah,
That's literally what I tell everyone.
Oh my
I
god.
can't spell any names, and I'm like, grew up in Kentucky. Sorry.
You went to senior dinner dance too, though, so I think you should speak on it briefly because I don't remember you. Like, I remember taking pictures with you, but I don't remember being there with you.
No, I understand. That's what I'm saying is that I think we should stop from the senior prom that you're about to go on to and then talk about the senior dinner dance. But here's the thing. I haven't specified anything that happened to me in the beginning of senior year.
Well, let's hear from you then, Miss Ma'am. Sorry, I'm talking a lot. You go for it.
That's okay because I asked you to go forward with it. So we started talking about how you were sick all the fucking time and never at school.
Anyway, go ahead. Don't blame her for everything.
During a junior to senior year transition, I can say that I finally ended up achieving my goal of moving out of my mom's house.
That
No,
is not where I thought you were going with that. It's like, wait a second, where's she going?
That did not happen. I finally begged the boy.
Woo-woo.
Yes. Sir J.A. and I walked into our lovely high school senior year as boyfriend and girlfriend, and it was great.
Wow, chicka, wow, wow.
Like that. Thank you, though. But yeah, it was a great time to feel like I've just felt really good. Like I had so much confidence senior year walking into that school and just in general. Like I had a great friend group. My one friend was always fucking gone and never at school, but you know what? It's okay. I had other friends like MK, PW. PW and I got really, really close. Like I think junior year, really, which we didn't specify last podcast, but and then MK and I, BM.
I think I know who you're talking about, but I don't know her last name because isn't she married?
She's married now. All these people getting fucking married. Is that?
I think
Am
so.
I imagining?
I don't think
Whatever.
so.
B, you know who you are. You hung out with MK. I'm sorry that I can't remember your last name. This is really hard. Maybe we should start doing this with yearbooks.
Let me just go grab the yearbooks at my mother's house really quick.
I did have one person message me and was like, I had to pull out my yearbook for this person I was trying to figure out.
Dang.
Like, oh, okay.
See, listen, we protect
Gotta
the privacy.
do research.
We protect the privacy by saying their initial. Y'all are the super sleuths that go out and are like, who's this? Who's this? Okay. All right, it's in my brain now. I know who this is.
I want to clarify that we're mostly just not saying their names because like if this does get into like public people and not people that like we went to high school with, like, or middle school or elementary, right? Like I don't want any of those people to like be found and like, you know, if you went to high school with us, majority of the initials that we're saying, you know. Yeah, like I mean, if you went to high school with me, you know who JA is.
Honestly,
I don't.
a lot of the people though, like, and they still do, which, you know, you're Miranda, but a lot of the people still talk to you or whatever, and you were more like, I don't want to say you had more of like a posse, but like you eventually in junior
There's
senior
no
year,
posse.
right? But in junior senior year, I feel like you kind of got over into like the more popular side because of JA and his friend group, and then you guys all kind of became friends. Whereas I was off in this not like nerdy bubble, if you would say, but I was off in my own little friend group. And I mean, I did
You
talk to
weren't at
people.
school.
I was at school the other years.
But not senior year.
It's fine.
You were not there.
Nobody reach out to me. Nobody talk to me. Just everybody go to Miranda. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not hurt.
It's okay. Y'all can come to me.
Even
Bring it on.
listen, even CC messaged you. And we both lived right down the street from him. CC, we gotta. I want to fight. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to fight. We gotta.
I don't think he listens to this podcast. I'm going to be 100% on. He was one of our first followers, but I do not think that he listens to this podcast.
Dang. Anyway, back to Miranda and her senior year.
I ended up going to the senior dinner dance with JA. I don't remember asking him. I just think it was implied. And yeah, I wore a nice little red cute dress, which you'll see in the pictures. And of course, you'll see Megan as well, because she was in that picture as well. And then you'll see TL and you'll see JA. And if
Just
you see just their bodies. But yeah, it was cute. It was fun. I don't really remember much about that night. I just remember going, having fun. I don't remember if we ate. I remember being on like the dance floor. I remember seeing PW. And like, of course I saw MK. I can't tell you what anybody was wearing. I don't really remember a lot of senior year. I just remember just being like in a lot of art classes and fucking around with a lot of the like younger classmen in that said art class. Also hated your art teacher. Could
Well,
not stand her.
I loved her. I still love her. She's she's got her people that she likes, and like if you are wacko cracko, she kind of doesn't deal with your shit, kind of thing.
To be fair, like I never had her as an art teacher, so I'm sure her and I would have probably really gotten along.
Just on the
I'm
outside, looking in, kind
just
of thing.
from the outside, her looking in, I feel like, and I don't really know if she did, but I feel like because there was two art teachers that there was kind of like a clash with that, which I don't really know if there was, I just remember like your art teacher being like the main one, and then all of a sudden my art teacher just like comes in out of nowhere. She was like new to the entire school.
I was gonna say, wasn't she really tall, really skinny, and then she had like brown hair, weird kind of like cut kind of ears, or is that somebody else?
No, it was definitely a pixie cut. It
Okay.
was short.
She was so sweet too.
No, she was so sweet. I literally loved having her as an art teacher. I wasn't in the class. It was like a freshman sophomore class, but I was in there as a older student
Yeah,
to like help.
I think I know what you're going for. I don't want to say it's not a mixed class. It was like
It's not teacher assistant, is it? Is that what
it
it
might
is?
be. You might have been.
So that was what my position was. It was like the first class of the day, and I remember I wasn't really asked to do anything during that semester. Like I was just kind of there hanging out like with people doing art. And your teacher came in and she just ended up saying like, "Why isn't Miranda doing anything?" My teacher was like, she is doing stuff, she's like helping the younger classmates and stuff like that, walking them through it and stuff. And she was like, "Yeah, but she should be working on her own projects or something." And so then after that, she gave me projects. But it was fine. Joke's on her. I made it a really, really good semester. I decided to do a paper mache doll, but in order to figure out who I wanted to do it on, I convinced my art teacher to watch Nightmare on Elm Street
I remember the
because
doll.
I wanted to do this on Freddy Krueger, and I needed that motivation. She was like, "Hell yeah, let's do it." So we took a day in class. It had nothing to do with what the other students were doing whatsoever. We just randomly watched Nightmare on Elm Street in the middle of class. We all brought food. We all brought drinks. It was great. It was a great time. That was that.
I can definitely see though my art teacher coming in and saying that though, or like even if she had that kind of a class and let's say I was in it or somebody else was in it, she would be like, okay, well, you can help, but you're gonna have this, this, and this as your project, or you're gonna have 2 or 3 projects or something like that. And you know, I mean, I don't blame her for wanting you to get something done, but I think it would be cool regardless. Like if you were just in there helping and doing whatever, or doing the projects like you did, like I think that would be cool. I remember we had
Uh,
the art show thing too.
the art show, yes. I was working on something before she rudely interrupted all of that. I just wasn't actively working on it the multiple days that she came back and forth because I remember you guys were in the cafeteria. We were in the actual art room and you guys were doing something.
So we were working on paper mache-ish like projects, and we all had partners or groups or something. And I know I was with RM. I don't know if there was anybody else, but I really wish it would have come out better because we wanted to, or we were working on, and we did the menu from Emperor's New Groove. So it was like the weird stuff that they brought out. So it was that weird pill bug with all the cheese weird stuff inside of it and like milkshakes and everything, and they looked okay, but I remember either we didn't finish in time or like I finished mine and she didn't finish hers or something. And that's what we were doing in the cafeteria because fun fact for those who don't know, during our I think it was only our senior year, it might have been It might have honestly been sophomore year up, but we had the longest time of our school being worked on and remodeled. I'm done with my part. School school got remodeled the whole time we were there. Well, like I said, I think since senior year, maybe junior year, but I'm
They
not
were
gonna.
doing a lot of remodeling. I remember that. Like, it finally, I feel like, started looking good like the last like month, but I don't feel like we really saw what it looked like unless you like came back.
Yeah, because they redid the library, they redid the art room mainly. They ripped out all the flooring, and I did briefly come back. It was very awkward because I went to go see my art teacher, but it was very weird to be like, "Hey, this is what I'm doing," or whatever. Because she's like, "Oh, hey," and kind of felt just like not wanted kind of thing at the time. And listen, at the time, I was very, again, it was very weird. I was very off put by ever wanting to come back and like show her anything ever again because I think I came to show her something and it just felt very one-sided and very like, oh cool, that's awesome. Great. And then I was like, okay. And I was like, maybe if I have anything else to show you, I'll come back or whatever. And she's like, yeah, I love that. And I don't know, it just felt very like forced and very like, why are you back here? Even though, you know, before I left, I said, oh, I'm gonna come back and, show you stuff. And she's like, oh, yeah, cool. And then, she says that probably thinking it'll never happen. And then it happens. And then she's like, oh, this one. Or I know where I used to go see, my third grade teacher multiple times throughout middle school and high school. She'd always be like, oh, hi, Megan, how are you? And just very, very different, very welcoming, very warm, where it's like, I don't know. I think she like picks out her students for like the years that she has. And she's like, you're the one, you're great. And for her, that was me during our year because I started with the photography thing, I think senior year, or probably junior year. I don't know. I was with her a lot for my art classes. So I had her for like a photography class, a regular art class, a photography 2 class. And I feel like my photography 2 class was senior year because I think I don't know if I was in the same boat as you where I had a bunch of the photography 1 people around me and I was basically the only photography 2. I think that's how it was. And so she was like, "Well, since you've had this class for whatever, I'm expecting more of you this year." And I think that's how that went. I believe that's how that went. So, again, I was like, I don't want to say protege because that's a little much, but I was her like main focus for senior year. And yeah, and then once you're gone, she's like, "All right, bye. Let me find my next one." I feel like that's kind of how it was with her. Not saying she's like that. Like that's just how I felt.
I feel like your feelings are valid because I got that vibe from her all the fucking time. So the rest of senior year, we can go into that here in a second, but I do just want to specify that, hey, we worked at the Gap during this time.
Well, you continue to work at the Gap at this time because what happened? Okay, 10th grade, right? BO got a job at the Gap. Megan had no plans of working like anytime soon, right? And so BO joins the Gap, and we still like, I think we I don't know if we were done dating, what happened, I don't know. Megan joins the Gap because BO's working at the Gap, and Megan wants to
No,
bother
this makes me mad.
the ever loving shit out of BO. And so with the Gap, we were all sectioned into different areas, and sometimes our sections would meet up in the middle, and we would just stand there and talk and just like, oh yeah, it was very honestly like I don't understand the point of that job. Like you could have like you could have I'm just saying like
For real though.
you could have like 4 or 5 people on the floor just like rowing. You don't have to have a person, literally 8 people in each section and just like, okay, this is your section, just clean it up the whole entire time you're here for 6 hours. That's literally what we did. Just cleaned up our entire section. And then at the end of the night, like, I don't know, cleaned it up again and went home. Like, what the fuck? Like, what was I doing?
I do think though that it's kind of fair to understand um, And I'm not going to specify what type of gap this was because I feel like for that type of gap, though, I feel like that cleaning was necessary because, like, I worked on the floor like maybe like 5 times out of the entire time I was there. The majority of where I was in the freaking fitting rooms, which, by the way, I don't ever want to work in clothes retail ever again because of this. But they did not have any limit on what you could take into the fitting rooms. It was really good deals. So, of course, there were people bringing in like, I am not exaggerating when I say this, like 50 tank tops in a row. And I have to put all those away. Not only do I have to put all of those away, but I also have to put all of them on hangers because this person was lazy and didn't want to put them on hangers. I can tell you that when I try on clothes, I am so organized with how I do it because I do not want to make anybody else have to deal with that shit. Like, I've learned so much from that job that, like, you won't ever catch me just leaving shit and it's not happening. It's so rude. It's a ick for me.
Yeah, I mean, I was not on the like main floor most of the time, but I remember getting some of our like shirts and our sweatshirts there, like that one teal hoodie that we had. Like I think we almost all kind of bought it because it was really cute.
BM and like, did MK work there?
I think she did eventually, or no, yeah, she
I
did
don't think
because
she did.
no, she did because there's some messages that I have from her that asked if I could take one of her shifts or something, and I was like, no, I can't, or something like that. I think she did.
Because I know AO did. Yeah, AO did, and then
Oh, right.
also RR did, and then AS did.
Rihanna works there?
Rihanna. RR and AS worked in the fitting room with me a lot.
Railroad?
You know who I'm talking about. You acting
I don't know.
Oh, you remember? He'll never listen to this, and he didn't go to school with us. Nobody's ever gonna know him. But like Nathan,
CH?
who?
Oh.
Write down who you thought, because she's on the wrong time frame, guys. She's back in middle school. I always thought Nathan was really funny.
Yeah, I miss Nathan. I wish we knew his last name so we could like. I thought he had a Facebook, and I thought we were friends with him. He might have just like deleted it or something. Oh yeah! Here I go, going to find him now. He's never gonna listen. Me adds him as a friend if I can find him. See, we are all super stalkers in our hearts. Honestly, he might not even.
You're even a super stalker listener.
That's really creepy. I don't think he has a Facebook anymore, but I hope he's doing okay.
Me too. Regardless, I did enjoy that job to a certain extent. I really liked the people that we worked with.
But yeah, it was a dumb reason for me deciding to work there. And I can't remember if it was I'm gonna talk about my leaving. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't because if any jobs hear my you know, if this gets out to anybody else.
Guys, she just didn't want to go back.
But see, I don't have that on my job application ever. There's no recollection. There's no record
So it's fine.
of
It's
me
over
working
10
at the
years. They're
Gap.
not asking for that anyway. You were
Oh.
also like 16 years old when that happened. So, like, if they're going to judge you based off of 16-year-old work, like, okay.
All right. Well, if y'all want to judge me, so
She didn't want to go to high school anymore. She didn't want to do her job anymore. She literally just wanted to sit at home. And I don't know what she was doing all those times, but she wasn't with me.
well, okay. So there was a day where I was supposed to work, and I know called no showed, which I know that's bad, 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 bad. Again, this was over
What'd you do instead?
15 years ago. I went to a football game with TL.
So she let her little crush control what she was doing.
No, it's just I didn't want to go, and like I don't know it. Like, listen, I'm not sure if it was just because I just didn't want to go anymore, didn't work anymore, because I think I had been talking to my mom about it too, about how I just didn't want to work at that place anymore. So you might have to pull her in for another Q&A session. But I remember, like you said, I don't think anybody is ever going to listen to this. I had the sweetest of the sweetest managers call me, Miss Rose, and she was like, "Hey, we're just wondering if you're." She left a voicemail. I never answered her. hey, we're just wondering if you are coming in, and we hope you're okay, and all this stuff. And I never answered or whatever. And yeah, that's how I left. And then a couple months later, I don't know if I came to pick you up or something, but I was so nervous to go back there because I was so afraid that everybody hated me for what I did. I'm sure they probably weren't very happy with me for what I did. I don't really know behind the scenes or anything. And I came in there and they were like, "Hi, we miss you." And I was like, "Oh, hey." And I just felt like a total dickwad. So that is the reason I will never ever ever do that again.
No, you should feel like a dickwad. First off, I don't like the word that is. So, like, let's not say that again on the podcast because, sorry, Nana. But I think that is, I mean, you were a kid, you know? You were a kid. I mean, listen, what you did is better than the reason why I don't work there anymore. That was it. That's all we had to say about that.
What? Oh yeah, you don't work there anymore because it's 20 years later. What's your
Also, I started working at Taco Bell at
Miranda?
the end of senior year.
I can't tell my story and you just don't tell yours.
Okay, at that point, all of us were, it was a clearance store. It was really easy to steal from. We worked in the fitting room. There was no cameras in the back, and like you could like go into a fitting room and like we could put on like bras over our bras and like walk out, okay? Like there's no tags on anything. So like they never really like said that they caught me stealing things. It was more along the lines of like I was terrified out of my mind and I just said, "You know what? I did it." And then like just walked out. And like they just agreed like, "Okay, like if you can just tell us you did it and then agree to quit and never come like back to try working a job, we won't press charges or anything." And I was like, "Okay." Now that I look back on it, you couldn't have pressed charges on me for a 25-cent like pair of underwear or $1 bra, but whatever, right? They were going through because one of the managers at the time, allegedly, I don't know how true this was because, we don't know everything that went on. At that time, allegedly one of the managers was like stealing stuff. Like, I mean, like lots of stuff. So they were documenting on that manager for quite a while. And then they just started really cutting down. And if you go in there now, there's cameras everywhere.
Oh, you've been
Like
back
they,
since?
yeah, I went back a couple times. Yeah, no, there's cameras. Like when you walk into the fitting room, there's a camera and you can see yourself. And there's like a bright, I don't know if it's blue or red, but like over the camera, and it's like smile, like, and then when you walk out, there's also one, like, they got real serious with it, which like rightfully so, because it was too easy. I'm gonna be honest, like, it was too easy, like it's okay. That's not the worst thing I've ever done, so there's always worse. I'm a bad noodle, as Megan would say.
No.
So yeah, we worked at the Gap together, which was really fun. That was our first job. Like, it was enjoyable. I had really good times there. Also, before we started senior year, did I already tell the story of how JA asked me out? I feel like I
I
already did on
think
one of
you
the
did.
podcasts. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so like that will always forever be in my brain because it was just so sweet. It's just so thoughtful.
We also had a crush on the guy that's name starts with an M that worked at the Gap too. But I believe he was like had a girlfriend or close to getting engaged or married or something. He was short, he had brown hair, like he had that
Okay,
face.
hold on.
Little weirdo.
Did he limp?
I think so.
I did not have a crush on
Oh,
him. I just want to specify that. There's no
gotta
crush on
go.
that man. There was a crush on one person though. We actually recently just texted like a couple months ago. But that's all I'm gonna tell you. That's all
Wow.
you get to know.
Wow.
Dude, I don't know. What else happened senior year, Megan? Oh, you don't know because you were never there.
That's so rude. Gosh dang it.
I think senior year was just kind of like a pipe dream to me. Like I don't really remember much of it because I just feel like I was just I was just too happy. Like there was no drama, like it was just good moments.
Good
I had all
vibes.
the I had all the right classes. Like I don't think there was a bad class.
Oh, speaking of classes, the creative writing class that we had, we took I think we took it with a couple like underclassmen, and I don't know their pronouns now because I was friends with them and then they deleted me, but BH at the time. I'm just going to say they because I'm not quite sure what they go by, but they had made
Oh my gosh, I love this. I remember this so much now. I wish that it's somewhere, isn't it? I think
it's
I've seen it
somewhere.
recently.
Okay, listen. Before I met my current boyfriend, right? I didn't like anything to do with Taco Bell. And it became such like a meme that it was just a meme time, a meme of me not liking Taco Bell, right? And
Also, why the fuck don't you like Taco Bell
well,
at this time in life?
I don't know. I really don't know, but it was like my last on my list if we wanted to get food somewhere, and if we did get food somewhere, I'd go, but I wouldn't eat anything there. I remember going with BH and EA. It's in the game. Uh, sorry, that just happens to be his initials. So, I mean, he doesn't listen to this either, but I was in love with that kid as well.
Who?
And EA, he was a lot younger than I was, and I think that's why it didn't work out very much.
Oh,
So,
I know who this
and
fucker is.
I think I kind of turned him off because I was like, I spoke more, I guess, at the time than he did. And I was like, hey, what's up? Blah. And so I think I kind of pushed him into a corner. But he did like me. That was very relevant. But I think our age difference was a big thing. And me, like, pushing him to like talk was a big thing. So it didn't ever work out. But
You
anyway,
know what I'm noticing is you're really into younger guys.
all right. And that concludes our podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next week for a brand new episode. Okay, listen, it's not that I'm into younger guys. It just happens like there was a couple guys that were my age. They're not that much younger.
She's getting so butthurt.
Anyway,
It's okay. I'm into older guys who also fail grades or are just like significantly older than me.
anyway, back to the Taco Bell story that we were talking about. So there was a couple pictures like of me. I'm like, because they just take random pictures of me. I was holding up like a soft taco or something like that, and they took a picture and they're like, "Oh, Megan likes a soft taco." The whole point of the story is we had creative writing with one of the people that I frequented Taco Bell with, and decided to write a poem about how I loved Taco Bell and turned it in to class. And that's that. It was something of like, or no, it was about me being jealous. And it was something along the lines of like, I eat a Crunchwrap Supreme. Megan is jealous. I do this.
I
Megan
remember.
is
I,
jealous. And
I had a sip of Baja Blast. Megan is jealous.
it's just like I'm like, okay, how did you get? I wonder what grade they got on it, but I'm just like, how did you get away with this and turn it in to the teacher? It's two sentences, every other, thing. It's two sentences, space, and it goes all the way down the page. And every second sentence is Megan is jealous. How did that? And they read it in class too, I believe. To be fair, I wrote like a poem or whatever, but I used the lyrics of It's Gonna Be Me and I just turned it into It's Gonna Be May. And I
Megan.
copyrighted
Megan.
the It's Gonna Be Me song and like threw it into a poem and flipped it around. I did do that. I don't have it anywhere to, you know, prove, but
I feel like that poem is somewhere. And I wonder if we could reach out to them and ask them if we could post it because it would be so funny to share that with everyone.
yeah.
So, tell us about well, I will preference this. I did not want to go to prom. Me and my mom always had like really big fights during like dance events and stuff like that. So I just like tried to stay away from them. I only really went to senior dinner dance because or seniors, and I had a boyfriend, so like felt like it was appropriate, right? Everyone was going. Like that's what you do go to is the senior dinner dance. Like I didn't really think prom was that big of a deal. Also, our high school just sucked at throwing dances, in my opinion. And JA and I agreed that prom was stupid and we didn't want to go. I think we just ended up hanging out instead, which was totally a better night anyway. Sorry, I had a better night than you.
So, unlike Miranda, I went to prom, and honestly, I don't know, it was okay. Because I went to sophomore and junior prom. Not that there was ever a sophomore prom, but I went my sophomore year and junior year and senior year. But senior year, I went with JR, and he was really sweet about it. He matched me, unlike the other people, and the other people that I've gone with. And we got the little.
She was hoeing around back then. I just had to put my input in. Sorry, bye.
Right, okay. We got him the little thing that you put on the the flower thing and the corsage for the girls and the I don't know what it is for the guys. A flower. Basically, I thought I was gonna pin him, but I didn't. But I didn't. And I only wore the shoes that I had probably for like pictures, and then when we got there, and then I took them off because they were very high and they hurt my feet. And I remember driving my mom's BMW. Yeah, yellow BMW. And it was the coolest one there. No, all the cars that she has had are very scary to drive. Like, I don't want to ruin them. And so it was just very, very nerve wracking. And so we ended up having our prom at a stadium, which is really cool because the last 2 years that I had gone were just some weird, like, banquet hall thing. And so I don't know. It was okay. Like I ended up hanging out with KB, which I know she listens to the podcast. So shout out to you, Miss KB.
Woo! Always listening.
Well, and also she was a really good friend through high school. Like when we hung out with S somebody.
Oh
She
my God. I was just thinking about him. SB, by the way, just so
yes.
that you're aware. There's a picture of us in front of your house.
Yeah.
He wasn't always creepy. He wasn't creepy like when we first started hanging out. He lived down the street from us. I genuinely thought he was really cool. He was in, like, was it the grade above us?
I think so.
Don't they always get weird towards the end, Megan?
Okay. Anyway, but yeah, because I have pictures of me and KB. We made like snowmen, and I went over to her house a couple times, and we had hung out, and I think we hung out with AO a couple times as well. But she was just always, and still is super kind and fun person to be around. Really like genuine. I don't think she's changed in that aspect, of being nice and all that.
And
And
she's a Disney adult. The good,
yeah,
the good
the good
Disney
kind.
adult, like us. Like us.
Right. And she lived basically in the neighborhood next to us, so like not that it was it was never like scary walking our neighborhood, but she did live like a good couple blocks away. But it was always fun. And so I hung out with her a little bit there and AO a little bit there, and I'll pop in some pictures of, prom. And then I remember briefly cuz well, I don't know much about if you did, but SM and I and RJ and KS kind of got really close because she was ended up being in our yearbook class. So yeah, so I took a picture with her and with TL, and there was another, I can't remember his last name either, but TL always hung out with an M name, and I can't remember his name for the life of me, his last name, but you know who you are. And I don't think I'm friends with him either on Facebook. All these people kind of dissipated.
Last name was M?
No, first name. Can't remember. This is why we need to pull out the yearbooks, guys. So we
Yeah,
can.
I really think that you need to go to your mom's house and grab it. I mean, we're already at senior
So it
year,
doesn't
so it
matter.
doesn't matter anymore. But like, Megan, let's go back and reference this.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, yeah, it was fun. I got to take, pictures with our math teacher at the time, and I actually kind of danced, I think, because I remember in a Facebook post, I was like, thanks, guys, I actually danced for once, blah, blah, blah. And people would always be, not like pissy with me, but they'd always be like, well, you're on a dance team, like, you dance, so why can't you dance?
No, no,
I'm
no,
like,
no,
that's a
no, no,
different
no.
kind of dance.
Yeah, no. You do not dance. Like I don't dance either. And like I don't know.
I need
It's
choreographed.
choreographed. You can plan it and you practice it 1,000 times and then you do it on a stage with your teammates. It's different. It's like saying, hey, you're on a basketball team, right? Like, just play basketball right here by yourself. Just do it. Can't pass the ball to anybody. I just want to see you dribble and take a shot. Dribble and take a shot. There's honking here in Atlanta.
Oh,
Honk honk.
Lena. Okay. So, yeah, it was fun. And at the end of the night, we all ended up going out to eat at, no, maybe that was junior year. So yeah, I don't think we ended up going out to eat afterwards. Maybe we did. Actually, we might have. And I don't know if that was, I don't know. See, this is so hard to remember. I don't know if it was junior year or if it was senior year where we all went out to eat and we ended up seeing BO out at that dinner. Or something like that. I don't know. Who cares? Maybe we went out to eat. Maybe we
You
didn't.
missed too much of senior year to remember anything.
My brain, mush, gone. Can't remember. But yeah, I mean, it was fun. It was nice to like have a. I just like dressing up, to be honest. I liked getting in a dress and
Yeah.
putting my makeup on.
Main character energy.
That's right. If they made a movie about me,
It'd be about all the different dresses that she wore. You know what? Let's make just one post about Megan's dresses. That's what I want.
no.
I'll get it going for you guys. Just let me know when you want it. I got it for you.
Nobody wants to see that.
No, honestly, your dresses were my favorite part about you going. Like, I always enjoyed seeing your dresses.
That's nice.
I don't like how you said that's nice. Like, you don't think I'm nice to you.
Anyway, anything else that you'd like to add before we get on to graduation?
What this sentence here in your note says, senior super, I thought it said laxatives.
Oh, that one. So yeah, we did have senior superlatives.
Superlated?
Superlatives.
How do you say it?
Superlatives.
Nah, that don't sound right. Superlatives.
Senior superlative.
Graduated from a Kentucky public school. I'm gonna sit here and tell
Oh
you
my
now.
gosh. Okay,
It's not
let's be
looking.
honest. Everybody that was popular at that time, it was honestly just a popularity contest to see if you could be in a senior superlative.
Also, I know for sure that we didn't get best friends, and I'm kind of upset about that because,
That's
like,
true.
I'm just here to say, look at us now, baby.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Let's see, who was it? Who did it end up being? I think it was ST and Casey. Are y'all still friends? Y'all still best friends?
No, I think it was BN and ST. I don't think it was KC.
I definitely think it was Casey. I don't know. Again, yearbooks.
I think BN and ST went to like elementary school together because KC went to elementary school with us.
Mm, I don't know. Regardless, y'all still best friends? I'd like to know.
She says that like she's like trying to create drama. She's
I'm
not.
not.
She's just around.
But yeah, I think we should have. I mean, not that they weren't like good for best friends, but again, it was literally all popular people in the superlative portion of the yearbook, which kind of was frustrating, but can't expect anything else when people are all voting for them. And that brings me to my next point, which was coolest hair. I'm just saying, and I don't do it that much anymore, but I dyed my hair the weirdest, like craziest, coolest colors, and I should have been in
That
that.
year,
Yeah, I had some fun stuff in my hair, but it definitely shouldn't have gone to LC. It was like nicest hair, and they gave one to CS and the other one to LC or LC. Yeah, and
but you know why? Because her hair was just really pretty and long.
yeah, well, I think it should have been for like coolness.
Nope, I'm gonna agree. She had really pretty hair. Sorry. I'm team LC for this one.
That's all I gotta say about senior superlatives. Also, they could have been done a lot better because some of those were just taken like front lawn of our school. No fancy backdrop set up. No nothing. Just stand here. We're gonna take your picture.
I'm pretty sure I got one. I think it was like best makeup or something.
I don't remember you
Bring
being
out
in
your
there.
yearbook. Yeah, bring out your yearbook. Let's go. I'm there, I promise you.
You're not.
Megan, are you gonna call me a liar?
I ain't calling you a truther.
Go
I'll go look
go to your
later on.
mom's. Okay.
We'll figure it out eventually, but I don't think you were in
Bet.
there.
Bet.
What are
How
we
much you
betting
wanna
on?
bet? $5.
Okay.
Apple pay you $5, you Apple pay me $5. I don't know what I'm gonna do with Apple Pay $5, but
Okay.
I mean I just wanna specify like I was in heaven. I know I said this earlier, but like I was just in heaven that entire year. I had the greatest relationship. I was in all the best classes. Everything was great.
And then
Everything
it
was
all went
fantastic.
downhill.
I what?
What? Just kidding. Just kidding.
It was so dramatic, Megan. It's like you're trying to tell the next year in senior year.
Okay. Next time
That's
on.
mean.
I wasn't trying
Next
to be
time
mean.
on Barely Surviving 30, where Megan wants to tell you all what happened to Miranda's perfect life.
Anyway,
Stay tuned.
no.
Cliffhanger.
So now that we've reached the end of our episode, we are going to conclude it with graduation. You'd think graduation would be fun and, a great time. It was. However, our lovely school, because seniors get the last 2 days of the week at the end of the year off, or at least they did. Maybe it was three. One to practice our graduation walk, and the other they take us out to eat. I'm not sure. I think Golden Corrals exist like everywhere, but if you don't know what it is, it's basically like a buffet. Go feed yourself, get whatever you want. Our, I don't know, again, I would like, honestly, if anybody's listening, gotten this far into the podcast, and you were there at the senior breakfast, I would love to hear how you felt the next day, like of graduation, because most of our class felt sick. Like, we did not feel good. We, you know, I was dying on the couch before, walking, and my mom was like, "You're going to be mad at yourself if you don't walk." And so I was like, "Fine," and sucked it up. And me and RJ were not feeling well at all. And I know RJ was pregnant at the time too, so she like doubly didn't feel well. It was just not a good time. We all think we got food poison. Yeah, it was just not great. I know we were waiting in line for something as well too, and I ended up getting my cap taken a picture of and then put, I think, in one of our newspapers or something like that because, you know, don't decorate your cap. You can't do that. Blah 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 blah. And I was like, I'm decorating mine. Like, y'all can't do nothing about it. I'm about to leave. Like, screw you guys. So I just put the 12, which is the year we graduated, on there in blue, and then outlined the rest of it in red, and it was all glittery. Yeah, I mean, graduation was graduation. We all just, I mean, I think the fun thing about it was getting to practice it and like whatever. And then the breakfast was okay until we all got sick. And yeah, I also got to, which nobody nobody knows this. No, everybody knows this. But me and RJ went to go ask for extra tickets because I wanted like a bunch of people to come to my graduation. And our principal at the time gave us what he thought was two extra tickets. When we looked inside, it was like six extra tickets. RJ had a guilty conscience. I did too, but I was like, I need these. RJ had a guilty. We both had guilty consciences. And so she was like, "Hey, you accidentally gave me this many. Here's some back." And I was like, "Girl, why would you do that? Like, just whatever."
You could have sold those. You could have made money off that.
No. Because it was my mom, my dad, my mom's ex-husband, my ex-stepsister at the time, my grandma, my aunt. I don't remember if my aunt was still dating her girlfriend at the time. I don't think so, but I don't know. And then my grandma, my grandpa on my dad's side, and my both my aunts and uncles on that side, plus my elementary school teacher. So I needed like 12 tickets, and we were only allowed 6. And then, I was like, hey, we need extra. And I was like, perfect. Because, that our graduating class for senior year was my third grade teacher's first ever class in a public school. And I wanted her to be able to see her first group of students graduate.
I mean, I guess, like, when you put it, like, special like that, that makes sense, but I still feel like that was a lot of people to freaking bring. But I can't really say anything. I had, like, my 2 sisters there. Well, honestly, I don't really remember who came.
I know your grandma was there, your grandpa was there, your mom.
For my graduation in college, I only get 4 tickets, so I'm gonna have to figure out who I'm inviting.
Yeah, I only get 4 too. I've got my mom, my Tim.
My Tim, my stepdad. He's your stepdad.
I know. I mean, my dad, like, I had him adopt me 2 years ago. Not officially. So, shout out to anybody on my side of the family. Surprise! We will go into that in another episode. To be continued.
Barely surviving daddy issues.
Let's not put it like that.
I like the title. No, I like the title. That's what it's gonna be called,
Oh,
guys.
gross.
Just stay tuned. It's already out in the ether.
Okay. Anyway, and my boyfriend. And I was like, I don't know who else I want to do or whatever. And I was thinking about Nana, but then at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. Part of me wants to invite you. You only get one graduation from college. Well, unless you go to 3 different colleges like I did and then leave and then finally decide you want a bachelor's degree.
Okay, Megan, hold on, we're not there yet.
Anyway.
All right, so this was my experience of graduating because, like, Megan is just dramatic. I'm just kidding. No, a lot of our senior year really, like, senior class really was sick. I didn't get sick. I did not get sick one bit. And I also enjoyed the food at Golden Corral. I was living the best life. I told you, senior year was great for me. It was fantastic. Yeah, just standing in line, waiting. People are puking to my left. People are puking to my right.
It's the song.
People are sitting down, not feeling good, and I'm just over here like, all right, I'm glad I didn't get it. I don't know what y'all ate, but
All
we're
had
all
the
sitting
same
next to
thing.
each other. Yeah, we were all sitting next to each other, so I'm not even sure. Like, my mom wouldn't let me decorate my cap. I just want to fucking say this real quick for you, Miss Christina Gomez. I am decorating my cap for my college graduation. It is happening, and Megan is sitting here looking at me in the eyes. She will be my witness.
Wow.
I was so mad over that, Megan. Like, I just thought it was so cute. And that relationship with that woman at that time. We got a whole bunch of podcasts that you're like throwing in this episode today. Biodads, the college episodes. And you're trying to give away our stuff.
Well, I haven't mentioned the other thing that we were obsessed with, so that we're also
In due time. In due time. Anyway, it was good. It was good to leave that school. We had a ponytail rocking principal, a really attractive assistant principal, and I'm not talking about the ma'am, the woman, the sergeant. Yeah. We had a sergeant, also assistant principal.
Apparently, everybody was in love with our assistant principal, and we were just too focused on our own likings of him that we were blind to know.
No, I just thought I had weird tastes. I didn't really think anybody else had the same taste as me, but look, I just want to state that you thought that you should have gotten the coolest hair, but you don't believe that I got the coolest makeup.
Okay, there either wasn't a superlative for that, or if there was,
it wasn't named that.
Well, then what was it? I don't remember there ever being a makeup superlative. Did you, okay, riddle me this. Did you ever get asked by any of the school admin, staff, whomever, to go and take a photo by yourself with makeup, whatever?
Yes.
When?
I mean, I don't exactly remember the day that it happened, but I remember they asked me to do makeup that day, and I did it, and then they took a picture of me. And you know what? I really think this $5 bet should really happen because, like, I just can't wait till you. And don't try to rip out the picture of the scene. I will ask somebody else. You know what? KB, you got your yearbook?
I'm sure I could go and find it. It's just going to take me a minute because I don't know where they're at in my mother's house, but I will go and look. I just don't remember you being in the superlatives, but I digress. Oh, also, really quickly before we end our podcast, we had homecoming. Of course, the people that were on the homecoming
Oh, I
court.
forgot all about this.
Yeah, homecoming court were allowed to dress up, but the people that were just going to the regular dance weren't allowed, which I think is stupid, by the way. But we had a like parade or whatever in our cars, like around the block, and they needed somebody for student council, and for some weird reason TS had asked me to be on it. I don't know why, because you had people like CH and I'm sure SW, and so I don't know what the issue was there that they couldn't be on it, but I was like, okay, I'll dress up. And I went around on it, and I believe RJ was on the Latin one, and Miranda was on the cute little art float, and we just like rode around, and then I had to walk down a football field and have our names named out. Of course, I never expected to be like a homecoming queen or whatever, but actually, I think if I'm not mistaken, KB was either homecoming queen or in the lineup, which I was like, woo woo, one for the short people. I think she was a part of it. Again, should have pulled a yearbook for this, but we didn't. You and your cute little cat makeup with JA.
I was a cougar. I wasn't a cat. I just want to
Whatever.
specify that because we're cougars, we're not cats. I was very happy to dress up as a cute little cougar and be next to him. Why are you rolling your eyes? I know you thought we were cute.
Yeah, I know.
I told you. I was living my best life that year.
No, you
I'm
were.
going to say it again. For people in the back.
Well, are we gonna bring back our nostalgia rewind? That's been
I
going
really
for a
think
while.
I really think that we just need to come up with a snippet for it because it does not ever we need to do it where it sounds good because that does not sound good. I'm so sorry, AirPod or earphone users, that you have to listen to us say nostalgia.
That didn't sound good either.
I know it doesn't sound good. But I feel like we could make a really cool edit out of that and make it sound good.
Yeah,
You all are
go
in the
for it.
making of the podcast in the middle of this. I have the 5 top movies of 2012.
The year that
All
the
right,
world was supposed to end. Anyway,
bet you can't guess what the number 1 is. I love this movie, The Avengers.
that was a really good movie.
Oh my god, it's fantastic. The second, also a really good movie, and guess what? I'm wearing a Batman shirt as we are recording this. The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, I went and saw that with KB and AO. We all sat in different seats, very close to the movie screen.
Well, glad you didn't break your neck. Third is The Hunger Games. I still have not seen this movie.
Really?
Yeah, it just doesn't pique my interest. Josh is hot, but I really didn't. What is her name?
Gonna say Katniss Everdeen, but that's her book name.
What is her name?
Jennifer Lawrence.
I just watched her newest movie that just came out with the teen boy.
That's a
She's
very strange movie
faking.
to make. I watched it too. It was very, very
I
weird.
liked it.
I liked it,
I
but it was
liked
just
it.
a very weird concept.
Yeah, it is, but it was funny.
I mean, if you want to watch it, you should. I think it's a pretty decent movie. And,
I need to.
Josh Hutcherson himself grew up in Kentucky, and
I was just telling my daughter about how, Josh lived in Kentucky and stuff like that, because she's a big Five Nights at Freddy fan. So we just watched that movie, and he's really good in that movie. I really like that. But she was like, "Oh my gosh, really?" And she called her dad and was like, "Did you know that the guy that plays in Five Nights at Freddy lived next to Mom?" And I was like, "Not exactly next to me, but
yeah, he lived next to me.
he lived next to my, elementary school. So yeah, and Megan met him, Anyway, all right, back to the top movies. 4 is Skyfall. Never saw this.
That doesn't make sense to me because Skyfall. Okay, Billie Eilish had a song or whatever. Maybe it was somebody else, but there was a song for the movie Skyfall. But I definitely thought this movie came out recently, not now.
Are you talking about Adele?
Yeah.
Not Billie Eilish.
Right.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Anyway, the fifth movie is the Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2. The part that we all needed because we were all left on a giant fucking cliffhanger from Part 1.
A movie where, again, this is a time where we read books constantly, and they decided to throw in a ridiculously crazy twist that none of us had seen coming. If I could give myself, I say this about a couple movies, but if I could give myself a movie to watch for the first time over again, it would be Breaking Dawn Part 2.
You know what? I actually kind of want to read the book again because, like, are you telling me that in the book, and I'm sorry, spoilers if you have not watched this movie, but like, it's fucking 2024 right now. Like, fucking watch the movie. Are you telling me that in the book that it wasn't like, hey, and he looks into like Alice's vision and this is what happens? I mean, not written like that. Definitely written better. I'm not a writer.
I don't know. But
Let's read just that part again.
I just remember though, like being in the movie theater, and Astro, right? His name, his name. I don't think his name's Astro. I don't know. It's something with an A, and he like all out of nowhere just like goes for Carlisle, and then all of a sudden the next clip you see Carlisle's head, and all of us were just like, Arrow. His name's Arrow, not Astro. Aerospace,
I
Astrospace.
like Astro better.
But then all of a sudden we were all just like, oh my gosh. And then, you have all these characters getting killed off and blah blah blah. And then finally you come back to present day, and everything's normal and everybody's fine, and we're just like like at that time biggest twist in cinematic history. Pretty sure it wasn't, but like for the people that were into those movies, dramatic twist in history.
Also, do you remember like the behind the scene videos of them and like Bella's corpse?
Yes. And the weird baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they could have done much better for that.
Well, I mean, like, I saw a rumor that they were remaking it.
Yeah, I saw that too. I'm not a fan, but whatever.
Anyway, go on with the songs.
Alright, so for our songs of 2012, we have Somebody That I Used to Know, coming number 1 by, I don't know how to say his name,
Goatee?
Goatee?
Gautier. I think you're right. I'm not right. I just think I'm being dumb.
Featuring Kimbra. And then we have Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen. Everybody was singing that song, even the celebrities.
Oh, maybe.
Then we have We Are Young by Fun. That was played. Oh, I do actually have something to say because these songs reminded me of our yearbook at the end of it. We'll get to that. Then we have Payphone by Maroon 5 featuring Wiz Khalifa. Then we have Lights by Ellie Goulding, which was a really good song. I love that song.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Glad You Came by The Wanted.
I love that song.
It's a really good song. Stronger by Kelly Clarkson. We Found Love by Rihanna and Calvin Harris. Starships by Nicki Minaj. And What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction, coming at 10.
If you're wondering why I did 5 movies and 10 songs, it's because I wanted to put What Makes You Beautiful in there.
Oh my gosh, you're ridiculous.
But I mean...
So, very, very brief topic before we wrap all this up, but our senior year, at the end of our yearbook, we would have our senior photo of the whole entire class, and then we would have the colors for that year, which I don't remember what the heck our colors were. We'd have a flower, and then we'd have a song. And I really, we had 3 or 4 options to choose from. I wanted We Danced Anyway, I believe was the song, or something like that. I believe that was it because I was like obsessed with that song. But our class, and y'all can comment on this if you guys want to, but why in the world did we pick Katy Perry's song Firework? Why is that our class song? Like, I just want to know. That's my question.
What do you got against that song?
I don't have anything against it, but like We Danced Anyway just feels like a better song, a better like.
Well, we didn't dance.
Okay.
Maybe there were more fireworks.
I just want to know why.
Megan, it was a voting thing. I didn't vote for it.
Everybody.
Because wasn't it in the same like homecoming?
I think so.
Like voting thing. Okay, but here's the thing: was that just upperclassmen voting, or was it the whole school?
Just the seniors, I believe. Why would everybody else vote for our class song? And
I don't know how it works. You think I really pay attention? I was living my best life senior year. Thank you guys so much for listening to our senior year episode. It's been kind of everywhere, but we appreciate you listening, sticking with us. Thanks for joining us on this amazing trip back in time to 2012, senior year at high school.
Wow.
No, really though, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. It's been really fun.
And we'll see you all next week for another episode. Not quite sure what that is yet, so stay tuned.
I know what it is.
Oh, wait, yeah, I know what it is too.
We're gonna talk about our obsession. You guys know that we love boys. What is our next episode, Megan?
Am I allowed to say?
Yeah, gotta keep them.
That's what makes
Yes.
you beautiful.
And that's it. Thank you. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.